Hey, we're going to continue our Meet the Candidate series. Tonight, we're going to be talking to the Benton County Sheriffs. Hey, it's a very important election going on over in Benton County. We want to be your go-to place to find out about the candidates for sheriff. Tonight's brought to you by Paris Outdoor Power, Taters, Tennessee Real Estate Company, Joe Mahan Ford, LIS, Straight Dynamics 2, Paris, Tennessee Steel Structures, and West Tennessee Chiropractic. Thank you for sponsoring this real conversation in a real community. Hey, we'll be right back.
The Mike Weatherford Show is proud to announce we are now officially powered by TEC. If their fiber optic internet service can handle everything we throw at it here in the studio, from videos to calls and live streams, you better believe they can handle your home or business too. If speed, stability, and service is important to you, you can count on TEC. Thanks, TEC. Now let's get to the show.
Recorded live in the studios of Brewery Street Mafia. This is a Red Dog Fred production.
And now, your number one rated show, The Mike Weatherford Show. Here's your host, Mike Weatherford.
Hey, welcome back to the Mike Weatherford Show. I'm your host, Mike Weatherford. Tonight on this episode of Meet Your Candidates, we'll be talking to Sheriff Kenny Christopher. He's the sheriff of Benton County. We reached out to candidate Valerie Hagler to join us. I had a phone conversation and along with text messages, and she had prior commitments and couldn't join us tonight. But I got my friend over here. He's going to help me navigate through all this tonight, Mr. Hansel McAdams. Welcome back, Hansel.
Thank you very much, Mike. Enjoy being here and looking forward to speaking with a man I've known since we were just discussing since 1977.
That's a long time ago, man.
It has been a while.
Hey, I appreciate it.
Looking forward to it. We had a good time last week with the Carroll County candidates.
Next week we've got the Benton County mayors coming on, so we got 4 of them that we gotta have a conversation with next week. That's going to be a pretty good show.
That's going to be a good show.
It is. Then we end up the last Tuesday of this month. We go with the Henry County mayors. We got them 2 coming on, so we're going to end it with a bang. We started early in the year, and we're going to go down to now with our locals. Hey, tomorrow night we got Dr. Ken Berry's going to be in here. He's going to carry on this Meet Your Candidate. He's going to be talking with Jay Reedy and Tandy Darby. And so we're going to continue this Meet Your Candidate series. Well, like I said, Dr. Ken Berry's going to host it right here on the Mike Weatherford Show. He's going to have Jay Reedy and Tandy Darby in here. So you don't want to miss that. That's coming up tomorrow at 7 p.m. right here live on the Mike Weatherford Show. So now I want to introduce the sheriff of Benton County, Mr. Kenny Christopher. Welcome to the show, Kenny.
Thank you, Mike. I appreciate you having me over here tonight. I always enjoy talking with you.
I appreciate you coming on, my friend. It's been a pretty long campaign for you this year, hasn't it?
Yeah, everybody seemed to want to get started early, you know. I don't know. I was hoping it wasn't going to get kicked off as early as it did because it comes a long, hot summer, you know.
It does.
But, yeah, everybody kind of got started way back in early February, it seems like. So we're riding her out.
I want to start out by asking you a question that why do you want to be sheriff again, Kenny?
You want my answer or my wife's?
Well, it depends on which one of y'all's carrying the gun tonight.
Well, she says, I totally support you in what you do. I think you're crazy. Just the job in general, because she's been around it so long now. And, of course, my kids grew up around it. And they're like, it's all that makes Dad happy. And I've got 35 years law enforcement, and I'll have to say, even in the worst spots that we've been in, the worst times, dealing with deaths and things like that, I've enjoyed every minute of it. I didn't enjoy it right then, but the satisfaction of doing the job itself.
Great.
I'm going to start with questions. Thank
Okay.
you, Mike, for letting me be here to ask these questions. So we want to present the candidates, to the public that's listening in Benton County for the sheriff's race. So explain to the folks in Benton County why you feel you're the best for the job of sheriff of Benton County.
Well, as I said just a minute ago, I got 35 years experience. It's been very interesting since I first got in it. I've done continuous training the whole time that I've been in, and I still continue to train. I'm in the Tennessee Sheriff's Association, and the laws, as y'all know, change a lot. So every quarter the Sheriff's Association meets, so we have our training, and all of us meet and compare notes and things, and I think it's very beneficial. I just I don't want to say anything good about myself, but I'm compassionate about what I do. I love people. I love being able to help people. I like solving problems. I think my son told me one day I was doing something else, and he said, "Dad, you're not happy." And I said, "Well, what do you mean?" He said, "There's no challenge. You're a person that has to have a challenge." And I never forgot that. So this is by far, being sheriff, the most challenging thing I've ever had. I honestly can say that, and again, not bragging on myself, I care about people. I want to see everybody get what they want. I set me a goal back years ago of what I wanted to be and where I wanted to end up, and I'm one of the fortunate ones that I could reach my goal.
So you've been the sheriff for 12 years.
Yes, sir.
And you're seeking another 4-year term.
Yes, sir.
What do you think presently are the biggest issues in Benton County that the Sheriff's Department is facing and thus the citizens are facing?
Well, of course, the economy right now is making things worse, so that brings up more thefts. That pushes more people into drugs. People are depressed. They're worried. This war has got them worried about which way we're going to go, what they're going to do, how they're going to feed their families. We don't have a lot of industry in Benton County. I wish we could get some more in there and give them opportunities to be able to relax and enjoy life. I mean, we got that beautiful lake down there and everything, and it's a great place to live. But I think that's a big challenge for the people. As far as the office over there, we have been short of manpower for so long, and I would love to see more officers. Our county is, try not to run long on this, but our county is only 8 miles wide, but we're 63 miles long. So if you've only got maybe 3 officers on of a night, it's a long time to get there, because most any call that you get now, it's not like it used to be. You need to send a minimum of 2 officers out there. So that leaves 1 to cover the rest of the county if they're in Granny's Branch. And your next call is up in Nicholtown across the interstate. It takes us a long time to get there. I try to zone them as much as I can. We broke down in 3 zones to try to patrol, several miles to patrol. So I think that's the biggest issue, is we don't have the manpower and we don't have a lot of the resources that we really need.
Do you still have the communication difficulties on the north end of the county, Danville area, that you used to have? I know 16 years ago when I was involved with the local officers.
Until about 3 years ago, and they microwaved our towers over there, and that's helped us a lot. We used to have to switch, you may remember, you'd have code 1, code 2, code 3, and you had to switch your radio. And if you was in either one of the codes, 1 or 3, you couldn't hear what was going on in the other. So if the sheriff's in code 1, he don't know what his officers are doing in code 3. If they're hollering for help or whatever, your dispatch could hear them, but he didn't know. So they microwaved it, and that has helped us tremendously over there. We've got very few dead spots now on the radio, so that's really helped us a lot.
And I think that was a danger. Everybody recognizes that it's a dangerous situation for your officers.
Very much. Used to, when you would go off, and Mike have talked me and him about this, when you go off Mount Carmel Hill, you would just call in on the radio and say, I'll be out of radio communication for the next 30, 45 hour, whatever it was. If you don't hear from them then, you need to send somebody looking for me. And that was a very dangerous situation, and I was down there through a lot of that. So that's been fixed, and that's really helped us a lot.
And I think during that time, even cell phones didn't catch up with you either.
There's still lots of cell phone spots. I carry 2 phones. I have to carry Verizon, and also have to carry an AT&T phone. If they can't get me on one, they can get me on the other most of the time. But it's better than it used to be by far.
Well, that's great.
You spoke about being shorthanded. Hard in keeping deputies is an issue, Kenny. It's all across the state and the country. We all know that. Do you have a plan to try to hire more deputies and keep the deputies you have? Because, the state of Tennessee, they're bad about stealing deputies. What is that an issue that you're facing?
Yeah, I think all of sheriffs are. every time that you pretty much get a full staff, the state comes in, and I was glad to see the Highway Patrol get the huge raise they did. I was glad to see Homeland Security pick up people, but at good wages. And so, you
You're
don't
having
blame
to
them.
compete against that.
Oh yeah, there's no way small counties can even start to compete. And I lost my chief deputy, and I wouldn't have thought about losing him at all. He went Homeland Security. Don't blame him. He's doing a great job over there. I was glad to see him get the promotion. And you can't blame anybody for bettering themselves and taking care of their family. And then the Highway Patrol comes in and throws a big raise and change some things, like you used to get moved around a lot. Now then they'll pretty much let you pick your county that you want to be in. And so that's hurt us, and it's going to continue to hurt us because every time they need more people, they throw a little more money in there. Mm-hmm. And these counties just don't have the money to pay that. So you got a lot of turnover. I've got a lot of young officers. I was glad to see some of my senior officers that had left come back. And so I think we're in good shape right now. We're 2 or 3 deputies short, and as soon as budget talks are over and we go into our next year's budget, I plan on filling the rest of the spots. For the last 11 years, I've asked for 3 more officers, and they said, well, you haven't got the spots filled that you've already got. Well, you can't keep them filled with things changing like they are. And this generation that's up there now, they'll move a little bit, and the same with correction officers. You can't hardly keep correction officers for very long. About 3 years is about the limit, and they want to try something else.
Do you have a plan, Sheriff, to compete with the private market? Like you said, the state and even Dana. It's sad when you can go out here to Dana, push a button and make a rubber gasket and make more money than a police officer that puts his life on the line there when we need them. Is there even a plan that that you have to try to go by to keep competing with them?
Well, the thing I think it really hurts us more than anything else is private security now. They get in there and they get certified with you. You send them to the academy and get them trained. They're doing pretty good. And, they can go to Nashville, drive up there, do a 12-hour shift, make $45, $50 an hour.
Yeah.
And they'll go do a shift, come home and go do another one, and they pretty much made what they would have made all week working with you. And they're probably not going to get shot. They're in the stores up there, and they're working, shoplifting and things like that, doing security. I know one fellow's been there for 1.5 years. He does security at a church they're remodeling, and he said the hardest part of the job was staying awake. Every 45 minutes, he makes a trip through the fire calls, what he calls it, and he's making $40 an hour. That's hard to compete when you have to get out here and you have to chase people, and your family's worried about you, and your wife's going, hey, you can make twice as much money, and I'm not going to have to worry about you being out here in a high-speed chase or being shot at.
It is a hard issue. Hansel, he fights that problem all the time, trying to stay awake.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's had that problem ever since I've known him.
Go ahead, Mr. McAdams. I'm sorry. Did I say that out loud?
Maybe a couple of us in the 60s have that little problem. It's a good problem to have on Saturday and Sunday when I can get another nap in.
I agree with you.
Well, something we discovered last week, and speaking to the Carroll County candidates, is that over there they seem to have a lot of the officers who work in the multiple departments. You have Brewston working for the Sheriff's Department, working for McKenzie Police Department. You don't seem to have that as much in Benton County, but what I'm hearing, you lose your officers to private security. Are they working at the Sheriff's office and doing private security, or just full private security?
Most of the time they're working at the Sheriff's office, but then, we put in a lot of hours. So if you need them and they've already scheduled that they're going to work in Nashville, well, they're going to Nashville, and you need them to come in and say, hey, somebody's called in sick and we don't, we need you to come in and work that shift, or can you come in tomorrow and work? And they're like, no, I'm already scheduled for Nashville. And, you kind of hate to ask them, give up $50 an hour to come back here and work for what you're making. So, it's that's a big thing. We've lost a lot of our officers there for a long time. We lost them to the city next door at Camden because they was making a lot more money. And so I asked for raises, and finally 3 years ago had to sue the county, and we settled it in mediation, and they gave us the money. And since then, I don't think we've lost any officers to the city because we're making what they're making now. So that fixed the problem. just throwing money at it ain't always it. You got to make your people happy where they work. My people that I've got now are young, energetic, and they want to work. They want to stay busy, and I like that, and I like them being nosy. If you're going to be a cop, you got to be nosy. I'll lay stuff down just to see if they'll pick it up and check on things. You've got to be, y'all been around it. If you're not a nosy cop, if you're not wondering what's going on around you and paying attention, move something in the room and see if anybody notices it. So I'm proud of the crew we've got. It's took a long time to build the manpower that we've got, and we've got really good people working for us right now. Good, honest, hard-working, want to get the job done.
That's great. That's great to hear. Well, let me ask you this. You're indicating that they're hardworking. And you're, as you said, a lone county. So if you have officers working, three officers working a midnight shift, how are they assigned to patrol your county on one shift?
Well, I have a sergeant on the shift, and I try, when things are not just popping and they're having to run everywhere, of course it changes every few minutes, try to keep the sergeant in the middle, send one man to the north end, one to the south, and just start their routine patrols, if you want to call a routine patrol, and doing security checks on homes and businesses and things like that. But as soon as they get a call, if the one in the south end goes to it, the sergeant will go back them up. The one in the north end will move more toward the middle, and vice versa if it's in the other end. So with three, it's hard. When I've got a full staff, I can have four on that shift, and that makes a huge difference. It cuts our response time down. Of course, if we get a bad wreck, say it's on the interstate up there, we may tie up everybody we got for 2 hours up there. And with the highway patrol being stretched as thin as they are, so many of them are in Memphis, we may have one highway patrol officer that's covering 3 or 4 counties right now. And they may tell us that their response time is going to be an hour and 15, 20 minutes. We got to go ahead and do what we got to do and then sit there and wait on them to get there. So we're working traffic up on the interstate, and we get another call, and then you got to pull an officer or maybe 2 off of that interstate and send them all the way to the other end of the county. I just wish we had the manpower that we could cut response time down, but our county is really laid out different from most people's because it is so narrow and so long, and in all of the east side is nothing but waterfront. So we've got a lot of homes and stuff up and down that river that we try to keep an eye on, summer homes, and people only down there maybe 3 or 4 times a year, and they break into them a lot. So that's a big thing, trying to protect the people's property when they're out of town.
I noticed when you mentioned the Memphis problem, highway patrol. Yeah. I noticed in Henry County, knowing the troopers, we have like 3 almost full-time assigned to Memphis. We only have 6 troopers assigned, I think, about that, not counting the sergeant. So they're only covered by 3. How many of the normal troopers assigned to Benton County are normally in Memphis under the program they have there?
With what they've got going now, what we're seeing is generally when we call, of course, we'll call Jackson for their dispatch, and when we call for one, it'll be they'll tell us, well, we've just got 1 trooper on for these 3 counties. If it's late at night, they have to call somebody in. So they're stretched thin, and those guys are catching a hard time when they're down there in Memphis. And when they do come back from 6, 8 weeks, whatever they keep them at a time, they come back, they're wore out, and you don't want to call them out unless you just have to, because those guys they're taking a beating down in Memphis. Their patrol cars come in, I see the hoods beat on them and the doors kicked in and stuff. So they're in a bad spot down there. I hate to call them out for anything.
And as a sheriff running for re-election with that knowledge and trying to hire someone to take that kind of that job on, where do you find your potential deputies?
Everybody tells me I'm a little bit too picky, but I'll usually interview 7, 8 people to get one. But I found out early as a leader that it's better to take your time and get a good person and get what you need than to have the headaches that goes with, I need a man, I need a warm body in that car to cover calls. So if you hire that person, you're going to get headaches and you're going to get complaints and probably going to get in lawsuits. So sometimes we're working pretty short-staffed, and I get up and go out, and my investigators go out and help, and chief deputies do, to cover that shortage till we can get a good person in there and somebody that we hopefully will stay with us. So I try to get people that are willing to move to Benton County if they don't already, that own homes, they have a reason to stay there, their kids are in school there. You can't always get what you want, but right now I have to say we're in better shape than we've been in a long time as far as manpower and the type of people that we got. I just keep praising not just my deputies, but my correction officers is exactly the same thing. You just get just as much turnover there as you do anywhere else.
Sheriff, I asked this question last week because it's on the news a lot, and I don't know if you have to deal with it in Benton County, but ICE and illegal immigrants. Do your department work with the ICE and when you detain someone that may be illegal or no driver's license? Tell me how that goes on in Benton County. That is an issue across the country and across the state, really.
Sure, yeah. We get anybody and we check and they're illegal. We hold them, and usually within 3 days they'll come down and pick them up for us. But as far as ICE concerned in working with them, we haven't had a lot of opportunities to do so, but I will say this, and people may not agree with me, as much attention has been given to ICE. If you're in this country illegal, you know you're illegal, okay? And so if ICE wants our assistance from my department, I'm going to send everybody they want. I'm going to help them in any way I can. There's good people in this country that just didn't come in right. But y'all, if you've done that, you've had plenty of time to know, hey, let's go get this straightened out and get legal. We need to know who's in our country. We don't need these people that are sleepers or whatever are in here looking. We don't know, and how we going to protect ourselves if we don't know who lives here. So if ICE calls and says, Benton County Sheriff Kenny Christopher, we're asking you for help. We'll say how many people you need. I'll call everybody in you need. A lot of people don't like that, and I'm nothing against immigrants. I'm all for them, but just be legal if you're going to be here.
Yeah,
but
legal,
I'll help them.
Yeah, the key word is legal and illegal. I mean, come on, it's very. And that is an issue that it's affecting our major cities, and it is rolling over into our smaller towns and community. It is. Illegals can.
This thing, Mike, in Memphis has pushed these criminals. They're pushing them into these rural counties by the dozen because they know we don't have the manpower to take care of it.
You said something, Kenny, that really made me think. You do got a river that runs the whole length of your county. And you have a lot of people that's bought houses there, that's living on there. Do you have any presence on the water? Is there any deputies, or is that left up to the wildlife? Or, I mean, that's got to be drugs and trafficking and all going up down that river. I mean, I'm just asking, is that a concern of yours and something you're looking at?
Mike, it's been a huge concern of mine for some time, and I've worked with Coast Guard. I'm known because I've lived there all my life. There's been drugs running up down that river for as long as I can remember, and it's only gotten worse.
Used to be moonshine, now it's drugs.
Yeah. Started out years ago, it was marijuana, and they was hauling it by the bales. And no, we don't. We had a couple of boats that I got through the LISO program through the government, and we had 2 good big Zodiac boats that I was able to be gifted. Got those and used them. Now when the Waverly flood come, we got our boats tore up over there, totally destroyed them, and we haven't got any boats since. I have asked my county commission, and they have told me that they're going to appropriate the money this year to give me a boat so that we can patrol that. I don't think it's what concerns me more than the drugs. I believe there's lots of human trafficking going on up and down the river. I had Coast Guard come in about 4 years ago. They worked with me for 2 or 3 days, and he said, Sheriff, I totally believe everything that you've told us. Everything's panning out, and we will be back, and we're going to come work this river. So as of this morning, I had mentioned this to a couple of people who was running for election in higher offices. That I wasn't getting any assistance from them. They hadn't come back, and it was a major concern to me. And so just this morning, I got a call from Coast Guard up in Ohio, and I'm sorry. First call was from Ohio. The second one was from Louisville, and they said that they would be back in contact with me. They was going to get more equipment and more manpower, and they would be coming back down to meet with me and see exactly what we was talking about, because it is a major concern, and I think people that's just out there with their families would like to know that we're patrolling, that we're out there to help them, because even TWRA are spread really thin.
They are. That river, it is it can be a border, but it can also be a major highway that people run up and down that river doing all kind of stuff. Because, we're finding bodies in it.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of stuff going on.
Let me address another subject.
Yes, sir.
And that's the issue of cameras. Several different kind of cameras. I want to ask, does your department use flock cameras?
No, well, we don't have them.
You don't have them anywhere in the county or the city?
The city is, I understand, passed it. The city of Camden, I believe, is going to put in 8 cameras. But out in the county, we don't have any. That subject came up some time back. If you don't mind me taking just a minute to explain it, but I don't,
Please.
Well, that's what we're here for, Kenny.
Well, it's been a big issue in Benton County, and I don't know how it got twisted and turned like it is. I go to the Sheriff's Association every quarter, and I hear all the sheriffs and chiefs of police and stuff bragging on the flock cameras. Of course, with anything, there's downsides to it, too. Well, I come back because it's my job to bring back anything that I think will help protect the citizens of Benton County. So I'd heard a lot of good about flock, so I come back, and about 3 or 4 years ago, I had brought up about wanting body cams, and the county commission didn't choose to buy body cams because of the storage is the main thing, costs so much money. So I give them the figures on that. They didn't purchase them. So then I brought back flock cameras. I said, okay, here's a new tool. Look it over, see what you think. Well, they discussed it, and then they asked me, would you bring it up again and have a Zoom meeting or have a representative from that company down here? So they came, and the Zoom meeting didn't work out. It was, the connections wasn't good. You couldn't understand anything. So from that point, they just tabled it. And I'm good with that. I've done my job. I've presented it. And I've also, for 11 years, said, hey, I need 3 more officers. Because if I had 3 more officers, that would be something to help protect. So anytime I hear of something that I think will help us, I'm going to bring it up because it's my job to bring it up. If I just sit back and don't do it, then I didn't do my job, and I'm going to do my job. And it's
you got to stay ahead of the curve, Sheriff.
Well, it's technology.
Yeah, you have to stay ahead of it because if you sit back and wait, the criminals will be so far ahead, Sheriff, you never catch up. You got to be proactive. My hat's off to you for staying proactive on that.
Well, I want to. A lot of things have come out since that was brought up. A lot of negativity, and I said the other day I was on another show. I don't know what's right and what's wrong. I haven't researched it. I brought forth what I was told and asked them did they want to consider it, and we would go further. And they didn't choose to do it at this time, and they didn't choose to do the cameras. They didn't choose to do the other officers. So I've done my part of it, and I think it's totally up to county commission, and they need to be listening to the people in their districts.
That's right.
Saying, hey, this is what we want or this is what we don't want. And that's
I
what
was
we'll go
always taught, Kenny, that every bit of medicine's got a little poison in it.
Absolutely.
So, and flock cameras may be that. They got good, I'm sure, but there's a little poison in that medicine.
Sure, there's going to be things. But, here's the thing that I'm really not understanding, Mike. The license plate readers that the Highway Patrol has, and they told me about 1/4 of their cars have it.
Yeah.
So when you go down the road, they're getting the same data as this is. We had in our county commission meeting just last night, our girl that's over our tourism and stuff, she was giving the facts. Okay, the things that they're using to read it, it told where everybody was from. It told their type vehicles. It told how much money they spent. I don't see any difference. There may be that I just ain't seen it, but if that's out here, there's going to be downsides. And the things that's been brought forward, I understand their concerns, and I'm concerned about that too. Yeah. But that's not up to me. It's up to the county commission. It's just for me to throw out ideas.
It's just a tool. Like I said, medicine got poison. Go ahead, answer.
I want to go back to your body cams.
Mm-hmm.
Almost every department I'm familiar with has, in some way, has got body cams or car cams. Do you have a car cam?
We don't have car cams. I went and talked with our DA when Mr. Stone was in there. Matt Stowe, and he mentioned the dash cams, and I told him, I said, let me show you how they can be manipulated. And I gave him a couple of demonstrations, and he said, I totally agree with you. I see that. I didn't understand it because I hadn't been out there on the street watching it. Now, body cam's a little different story, but I think even they can be not exactly straightforward, may not show everything. The example that I gave them on the body cams, okay, you've got to have a policy for your body cams. You have to. If your body cam policy says that, okay, if anytime you're approaching the public, you have to turn it on. Well, if I'm out here at 2 o'clock in the morning and I'm driving around the building, checking the building, and all at once the back door pops open, the gentleman jumps out and he fires 3 shots at me, am I thinking turn my camera on, or am I thinking hide, or am I thinking shoot back or get the heck out of here? So, you know, and if you don't turn it on, then it automatically looks bad on you because you broke policy. But I think for the most part, I think the body cams are a good thing, or I would have never brought it up the first time, but it is expensive, and it's got less expensive than what it was, but the storage on the body cams is what really costs the money, and getting your people used to it. And of course, I brought this up, I probably shouldn't bring it up now, but I got a bunch of rednecks, you know, working for me, and like all of us do, and, you know, people say things in the heat of the moment, and Lord, I can blow a case. You know that well. Some guy says, you know, this happened or that happened. He goes, well, that's probably what should have happened. You know, and, well, it looks bad on you, even though he was like, I'm tired of chasing this guy through the woods. Sheriff. Well, people are people, and you're going to be human first. You be a cop, but you're going to be human first.
But people's got to quit being so damn tender.
I wish they would.
You know, seriously, you didn't grow up with a dad like John Weatherford. You know, he called it out. I think that's where I get it, because my daddy called me he'd say, Von L, that's my mother's name, that idiotic son of yours. I guess nowadays he'd get arrested for insulting me like that. So, I don't know.
No, not you.
I got you.
I do like the body cams. I just, you know, they've got, just like the flock cameras and everything else, they've got a downside to them, but mostly I think it's a good thing.
Before we get to the commercial break, Kenny, keeping the public's trust as a sheriff is very important to you. I know it is. I mean, I know you know, well enough to know that. Do you think you did a good job at being out there, the public can see you and hearing their comments and all? Is that something that you're proud of?
Well, I'll say this. I've done the very best that I can to keep the people's trust. I hope that they know that I'm honest, I'm straightforward.
You take it serious. I will have to admit that. I know you well enough to know that you've taken it serious.
I want to take care of the needs of the people in the county. Sometimes with the laws being what they are, you know, you can't give them what they want, or the outcome didn't be what they wanted it to be, and so they have to have somebody to blame, and a lot of times it has to have a face, and so the sheriff is the face. Sure. And you know that when you come in as sheriff. If you don't, you're getting in the wrong profession. But yeah, I think the people in my county, I hope, I pray that they trust me, because I don't want to get off on it, but I trust in the Lord to guide me, and I ask Him every day before I go to work to guide me. And if I make any bad choices, it's on Kenny Christopher. It's not on God. God don't make mistakes. I just didn't understand what He wanted me to do. But I'm going to be honest with people, but they may not like my answers.
Well, that's okay, but I knew you took that serious, Kenny. I know you do take that serious. And we're going to take a commercial break. We get back, we're going to continue this conversation with Sheriff Kenny Christopher. He's the Benton County Sheriff. So we'll be right back.
Here at Yoder's Country Store, we like to do things a little bit differently. We serve fresh lunches made right here in our kitchens. Take them home with you, or you can enjoy them right here in our warm and inviting dining room. A full deli with meats and cheeses sliced fresh, just for you. Fountain drinks, hot coffee, or delicious fruit smoothies add the finishing touches. Natural and organic products, as well as locally sourced foods you won't find anywhere else. We even carry canning supplies and hard-to-find country staples. And of course, friendly service every time you visit. And we're owned and operated by Amish and Mennonite families.
Order for Bill is ready. Hey folks, James Yoder with Yoder's Country Store. We're not your regular grocery store. We're just 5 minutes from Paris. We would love to have you.
Just minutes from downtown Paris, come experience Yoder's Country Store at 75 Anderson Road.
Is your tank on empty? For best gas prices in town, fill up at 54 Fuel Mart, 1213A Westwood Street. And don't forget your other tank. Grab hot fried chicken, wings, pizza, and on Tuesdays and Fridays, the best fried fish around. Got a sweet tooth? We've got freeze-dried candies, candy bars, and more. Rainy day? Stay dry and use our drive-up window. Farmers? We've got your dyed diesel plus parking for big rigs. Open 5 a.m. to 10 p.m. every day. If you're feeling lucky, play the lottery or grab a scratch-off while you're here. 54 Fuel Mart at the Westwood Y. More than just fuel.
The Downtown Event Center is available for parties, meetings, or family get-togethers. The center comes with spacious seating and an area that will help make serving food easier. If you are having a birthday party, this is definitely the place for you. The Downtown Event Center is located at 107 South Brewer Street. Contact Jessica at 731-642-4992 to make your reservation.
Hi, I'm David Bubba Flowers. I'm running for re-election to the County Commission in the Great District 1 of Henry County. I have proudly served you for the last 2 years in District 1, and I look forward to using my 42 years of financial and accounting experience to help lead our county for the next 4 years. I humbly ask for your vote. Thank you.
All right, folks, next week we got another great Meet Your Candidate as we move on to the Benton County Mayor. We got Scott Pfeiffer, Shasta Arnold, Mark Ward, and Norman Frazier. They'll be live in the studio talking about the mayor race. Hansel and I, we're going to continue this next week, Tuesday, June 23rd, 7 p.m. We're going to let you find out the difference between 4 candidates that's running for mayor. It's going to be a great show. You don't want to miss this one. Don't forget, tomorrow night, Dr. Ken Berry will be sitting in my seat. That's right. He'll be hosting the Mike Weatherford Show as he talks with Jay Reedy and Tandy Darby as he continues to Meet Your Candidate series as he brings in the Tennessee State Representative Jay Reedy, Tandy Darby. You don't want to miss his show. Dr. Ken Berry is going to be the host, sitting in my seat, doing what I do, probably do it better, which is, that's not hard to do. We don't want to miss that. It's coming up tomorrow night right here on the Mike Weatherford Show at 7 p.m. So be sure and tune in for that one also. All right, folks, we've been sitting here talking with Sheriff Kenny Christopher. He is the sheriff of Benton County. That's a county that joins us right here. I've got family and friends in that county. I mean, I've got an extended family. I know I said that last week, and it's all true. I do have friends down around the Big Sandy area and got family down there. So I think it's important to bring to you, the voter, and let you see the difference in the candidates that's running for all these offices that we have out there that's going to be elected here and coming up in August. And Kenny, you didn't run off. You stayed with us.
Oh, I like the company. You know, I can communicate with you guys.
I appreciate you, man. But, Hansel, you want to start us out here for some more questions?
I want to ask some questions about, you indicated the problems that you have with the lakefront property and the manpower problem there. But I think one of the things the voters always say is the number one problem are drugs. Tell us what you perceive as a drug problem in Benton County and how you can, I guess, continue to fight it.
Well, anything that you do, of course, you need money. You got to have that. But we have done well. Of course, we're not going to win. We're never going to win this thing with drugs. It's just never going to end. I don't. If I had to answer to that, or anybody did, they'd be a billionaire. I take what funding I've got and I try to make it go in the right places. I've got 3 investigators, and my investigators stay busy, and I try to keep them on the drugs is one of the top priorities that we work on, because it affects everybody in the county, not just the person on drugs, but it affects their families, it affects their work, it affects their school, their children, and everything. And I've been at this long enough that a lot of people I've got in my jail right now, I remember going in and when they was just kids, and we'd have to raid their mom and dad's house for drugs, and so they grew up in the same way. You go in there and cockroaches crawling on the bed, and you cover the kids up and try to get them some help. But now then they're grown, and it's passed on to the next generation. We work hard at it. My officers we're hooked up with a company up in Nashville that we can rent a lot of equipment from, high-tech equipment that we couldn't afford. So we get with them, and we use their equipment. We're real good at working informants, working information, and the public in Benton County has really helped me a lot. I've got a lot of people that will just call me periodically through the day or night and send me text messages of what they see going on in their area, because I've went to them and I'm like, hey, if you got a problem out here, I won't know about it unless you tell me. So you tell me what you've got and what you're seeing. And so I'll get a text message, hey, they're in such and such a place, they just went in here and I'm seeing a lot of traffic in and out, or whatever the case might be, or somebody that you're looking for that we know have been dealing a lot of drugs. They're in this area again, so they'll spot them because we don't have enough manpower. They'll see them, they'll let me know, and then we kind of concentrate on those areas. So you take the limited amount of manpower you got and throw it into the areas that you're getting the most complaints about. Because the people in Benton County, they're like anybody else. They don't want this drugs around them and their families. So they'll let me know what's going on, and I couldn't operate without them. I mean, and I don't mean this bad, but the good people, the people that want things to be right, they'll call me. They trust me enough that they'll call me, and I say, I know this, you're going to let out that I said anything, but I need this. This is going on down the street from my house. This is going on in the so-and-so's farmer's back field or whatever. So that's the way we're working it.
Are you getting any assistance from the TBI or the Drug Task Force?
Drug Task Force is doing a pretty good job in Benton County, even though we don't have a man on the Drug Task Force at present. We did have, and once we got short of some people and the man that we had on there had went into the private sector, then we just haven't had the manpower that we could spare one to put on there all the time. So my investigators are working the drugs, but Drug Task Force is doing a good job in Benton County. In fact, I spoke with them 2 or 3 times today, and they let me know what's going on and where they was going and what they was doing. And, I appreciate them staying in touch with me so we don't just get some crazy call or people thinking it's us, And
is that a organization, if you get some more manpower, you'd like to put someone back on there?
Definitely. I would love to have somebody on there because they, that's full time. They're working drugs, and we get so much drugs coming off this interstate. There was a bust that we made just recently in the last couple of months that we know comes straight from the cartel. I mean, it had hit. It was tracked all the way in by the Drug Task Force, and they contacted me, went out early in the morning, and the drugs had been there about 30 minutes. And we know where it come from, and let it land where it was going to land, and it went and made the bust on it, and it was directly from the cartel, and we get a lot of it. But that's been going on for a long time. In fact, when I first come back to working at Benton County, we got a bunch of drugs. We got a bunch of high-priced weapons that was stolen in Memphis, and they was used in Benton County for a distribution place. They bring it down here and hide it out in the woods, and then they let it cool off a little bit, and they was trading it. The gangs in Memphis was trading it to some gangs that was out of Paducah, and they was using Benton County. And so the guy called me, and he said, I know you know every rock in Benton County. He said, I'm going to tell you where this is at, and it's been there about 30 minutes. It was stolen today in Memphis, and we recovered. My former chief deputy, Lockhart, and myself went out into the woods, dug it up, and while we was coming out with the stuff, here come a car in, and they seen us coming out with it, and they took off, and we know that's who it was, but we couldn't identify the vehicle. But yeah, it's been going on for a long time.
That's great.
I'm going to move along, Kenny. I've had you in here 45 minutes, so I'm going to move on pretty quick on these questions.
Okay.
How important is working with a budget as a sheriff? Is that a very big, important part of your job? Other than being a policeman, that's got to be one of the hardest.
Yeah, I'm not a numbers guy. I'm the guy who kicks the door in, or is out here on a wreck crawling around and trying to get people out of it. But on my budget, most people don't understand. You've got two budgets you're working with.
Yeah.
One for your jail side, and you have one for the sheriff's side. In ours in Benton County, it's $2.8 million on the sheriff's side and $2.3 on the jail side. Now
that's a $5 million budget that the sheriff is responsible for.
Yes, sir.
I hate to butt in on you, Sheriff.
No.
But that's a lot of money. So
Yes.
budget is something that you have to really know a lot about if you become sheriff. You are the sheriff. Is that one of your strong points, budgeting?
I'm going to say no, it's not. I'm not good on my budget, but I have good people that keep me informed. So about every couple of weeks, they come in, sit down, my bookkeepers do with me, or at any time I reach over, hit the button of the intercom, and I say, come up here and tell me about this. What can we do? What percentage are we at this point on this money? And if we purchase this or do this, where will that leave us 2 months from now? And try to plan ahead. Right. So I stay on top of it, but I'm not the actual figures guy. But every year I've stayed within my budget. And this year, due to some numbers, our fault and the county commission's fault, our numbers didn't match as to what they told us to put in for salaries and things like that. So we did have a shortfall this year, and they agree that, they had told us a percentage that we got for a raise, and that's not the way it was budgeted. So it wasn't just us. It was other offices in the county got the same thing. But I think I've stayed within my budget every year. In fact, we give money back every year.
Grants are a big part of your budget.
Yes.
Is being a grant writer or grant go-getter, whatever country word, that's important part of a shit. Because we've talked to other ones, Hansel. You have to agree that's a big part of all departments is these grants. How do you go about receiving? Because it is tax money, but it's low-hanging fruit that if Benton County doesn't get it, another county is going to get it. So how do you go about grants? Is that something that you work on yourself, or you have people that you got that does that for you?
I have people in my department that do the grants. I honestly don't have time, and I'm not, I guess, I'm just going to say I'm not smart enough to do them because it takes a lot of time, but we work on them. We've got our litter grant that we try to keep the trash picked up. We've got grants for governor's highway safety has been a big thing. They give us so much every year. We can get out and do saturations, take DUIs, and help with the drug problem out. They give us so many hours that we can use. So my officers get to come out, make some good money, and they tell us what areas that they want us to work in it. So that's a big grant for us. We've got several other grants that not of them all coming to mind right now, but we've got several that we work on.
I've got a list of stuff that you did. I don't know if you know it or not, but I'm kind of one of them kind of guys that I can get I can get into stuff.
I need you for an investigator.
I'm gonna let Hansel talk with you there.
I want to ask one of the explain to people what the LESO program is.
The LESO program comes from it's federal government and it's surplus property. Anything that the military's got, they put when it gets a certain age or certain time on it, they put it out there. And what you do is you apply for it and you tell them why you need it. And if you can justify the reason, then you and however many others have applied for it can get that. And you can use that equipment for what you told them. Everything that I've ever put in for, I've justified using it for drug operations. Then when you keep it a certain amount of time, then it comes off of your inventory and you're allowed to sell it and put the money back into your drug fund if that's what you said you needed it for. So everything that I've had is where I could feed my drug fund back.
That's good.
It's brought in a lot of money.
It has.
I've been able to help with stuff like right now we've got, we got bulldozer too. We got a couple of semi trucks. We've got trailers. We've got Humvees. It's really helped us out a lot. So we've had a lot of equipment over the years now. When the former president was in, he cut back on a lot of that. So it's been slim pickings.
All right.
But it's starting to pick back up now. And so I see that that's going to help fund us a lot in the future.
But what it does is if it doesn't get to these rural and the sheriff departments, it's going to go on the public auction, right?
Right.
Or some of it can be scrapped. A lot of it's scrapped. But I'm glad to see it coming back to these department hansels, and then y'all can keep it for a while, then you can sell it, and then some of that money comes back to the department. I like that, Hansel.
And if I'm correct, those items are free. All you got to pay is transportation. Send somebody up there with a truck or trailer to pick it up and get it here.
That's great, because this tax money started it. Federal tax.
And they're just giving the money back to us to put in local areas. It's been great. We went over in Little Rock, and we've been down in Texas. We went to get all the local stuff that I can, like Fort Campbell and Fort Knox and stuff. But I went and drove semi trucks back. We've got low boys and things like that, and it's it's free. Why not get it?
And because it's going to be scrapped or going to be sold.
Exactly.
And
it's good equipment. Most of it has low hours.
Yeah.
One of the programs I want to ask you about is at your jail, do you have a work release program for the inmates, either misdemeanors or the felony offenders?
I do not have a work release like Henry County has. I've been trying to get that for about 6 or 8 years. I did talk the county into buying the land next door to the jail because I knew that would cut cost. When we put it in, we could still use the same jailers. We could use the same security cameras, feed out of the same kitchen, and I would love to have it. That's been my big passion for a long time. They bought the land. Then we applied for the grant, and the bookkeeper I had time, he applied for the grant, but we didn't get the grant. So since then, the mayor has said that he is, I believe he stayed on one of the shows the other day, that he was doing all the grants for us. So I'm hoping that he put in for it again this year, and I'd love to see us get that grant. I think it would be good for the economy in Benton County, because even with Henry County having one, I still get calls from Dana, Plumley, like that. They'll call and say, Sheriff, they don't have enough inmates, and we'd like to have some more. Do you have any? As soon as I put the word out that we was trying to get it in, that afternoon I had like 25 job offers. So it would help the economy, but the main thing, it helps this person get back on their feet. They can, while they're incarcerated, they can keep up their child support. They can pay back restitution to people that probably wouldn't get it. And I've had some very good success stories, because I'll take my guys, since I don't have one, and send them to Dyer County. It's been real good to work with us in Henry County. And they come back and come and pay their fines that we would never get probably in Benton County, and come back. One of them paid over $20,000 back that we would never have gotten. And he moved on out into Wyoming and done well and got remarried and connected with his family. And he periodically would let me know, I appreciate you believing in me.
Yeah. I think it helps, Hansel. I think it kind of stops that revolving door, because they can leave there a lot of times with money in the bank, their fines paid, they've got a job when they get out, and it's a win-win situation. You need to look at that and see if you can get that implemented.
The last two that we've had get out was already supervisors out here at Dana.
Right. That's right.
So I was proud to see them.
Well, the good part about it, it continues after they're released.
That's right.
Yes,
their sentence is over, and they're back as contributing citizens.
That's right.
Taxpayers.
That's right.
And back to responsible behavior.
It might be making more than your deputies.
I promise you, that one that was out here at Dana was making about $2 more an hour because he's a supervisor. That was discouraging.
I done some digging right here. You see it right here. I'm going to talk about some stuff here that I found that went on in your department from 14 to 26. Annual toy and coat drive, firewood program, deer processing, inmate garden, pumpkin patch, Cape 9 program, food pantry, gun safety locks, mental health grants, TCI training grants, lasers, and opiate abatement grant. Tell me how that has helped the community and you implemented all of this.
These are ideas that I come up with, or not necessarily, if I didn't come up with them, going and meeting with the other sheriffs, thinking of things that they've thought up that would help their community. We fed out, I think, and I don't want to overstep it, but I think it was something like 5,000 quarter-pound meals last year off of our deer processing to the people. And the pallet companies in our area, we was doing wood cutting, which was teaching them a trade. And we would do the wood cutting and take people that was heating with wood on a limited income to help them make ends meet. Now, the pallet companies have been really good. We hadn't had to cut any the last 2 years. They've been donating all the blocks for us to take out there. So
That's a great idea.
Oh, it's really helped a lot of low-income people get back on their feet, 'cause they'd tell me, hey, I'm choosing between my medication and my groceries and whether we stay warm. So if they're heating with wood, we done really
We live
good
in the
on it.
richest country in the history of mankind, and nobody should go cold, and nobody should go hungry. You've got the litter grant, Tennessee Highway Safety Grant, Central Dispatch, County Sex Offender Registry, 86 in the county.
86 registered sex offender
Yeah.
in our county, and that's a low number, really.
What are you, before I give you back to Hansel, what are your future goals? If you're a reelected sheriff, what are some of the goals that Sheriff Kenny Christopher is really reaching and grabbing? That's not a hard question, I hope.
No, it's not at all.
Talking to the microphone, there you go.
Yeah, it's not a hard goal. You got to keep thinking ahead of what you want to do. Of course, I've done said I needed more officers. I want to start doing some live press conferences to keep the people better informed of what we're doing. We had the lady was missing, just recently, Miss Fowler, and I should have done more conferences to keep people updated, but we just didn't have anything. Since then, we've brought in the FBI, who's started to assist us on 2 cases that we got on missing people in our county. We've got a program coming up that I'm really proud of. Henry County has the shed. All of you know about the shed, so we've copied off of that, come over, and the lady that runs it is super sweet. She's helped us. Well, we've had Eagle Buildings has offered us a building to get started. We're going to put it up on the property, and we'll be able to help a lot of people with school supplies.
That's a great thing.
What y'all got over here is tremendous.
It
How
is.
the people have helped, and that's been great. I think my biggest one, though, that I really want to brag about is the people in Benton County. If you ask, and it's something that's, it's something that needs to be done, they always step up and help. So our toy drive that we have every year, we've had our motorcycle bunch or the other brothers and stuff come in and do fundraisers and toy drives and help us through the summer to get started. And Walmart's been great over there about helping us. And we get people come in just handing us money left and right and buying toys. So we come about 250 kids every Christmas. No kid is going to wake up in Benton County
You're
without
going to
something.
continue all this.
Absolutely.
One of the programs I heard about that you were looking into is the Blue Envelope program.
Mm-hmm.
Be the first time I've ever heard about it, but tell me what that is and how you're going to develop that program.
They're just bringing it into Tennessee, and I can't give you a lot of details because I don't know the whole details in it. But it's going to be free, of course. But what it'll do is a person with autism, dementia, maybe doesn't speak English, whatever it might be, they'll keep all their a copy of their driver's license, their registration, the things that an officer, when he first approached them, would want to know, telling them it'll state in there that you can put in there what their problem is, whether it's dementia or whatever. So as soon as that officer approaches them, they know to just hand him that envelope, and all that information is passed on. Maybe they don't speak English well. Maybe they have some kind of other defect, But it'll pass on the pertinent information immediately and save a conflict of maybe the officer not thinking they're cooperating, or he'll understand, hey, they don't realize where they're at.
Yeah.
That's why
That's a great program, Sheriff.
I think it's going to be great, and I'm really looking forward to getting it implemented. They've got it in Montgomery County, I believe.
So the blue envelope, I hate to butt in, I'm sorry, but cancel both of y'all. That is a great idea.
Excellent.
The blue envelope will alert the officer there's an issue. He'll open it up. He'll see what the issue is, and he won't be thinking there's drunk or something else going on. He'll know that's a good one.
And it doesn't look like a gun.
It don't look like a gun.
So it can't be put on the edge.
That's right.
They put it up over their sun visor or something. When the officer comes up and asks for their driver's license, they just simply hand him the envelope.
That's
and
a great
that
idea, Sheriff.
Well, I wish I'd have come up with it because it is a
but
great
you're
idea.
implemented. That's the first we had heard of it. You know, I dig deep, like you said. Maybe I need to be an investigator. I done it before you even. I knew about this before you even talked about it.
You brought this up, and I just very recently heard about it.
Well,
but
that's
I think
our
it's
job.
going to be great.
See, I'm Mr.
Well,
McAdams, you know, he's used to be the district attorney, so he knows how to get all this stuff.
Oh, he's a very good investigator.
Yeah,
I went up against him a time
I
or two.
know.
I didn't enjoy it at all. He can make you sweat.
He can. Go ahead, Hansel.
Got one other. I got one question about you, Sheriff. My connections back with Benton County the last 5-6 years has always been through a Facebook post or maybe look at the website with the newspaper or one of the local blog folks there about the news. Mm-hmm. I see you, but it's always at night. Explain. Are you a working sheriff, or you just get called out? Do you patrol? Because at times that I know the public doesn't see you. You have to work during the day, but do you work at night too?
I am and my people sometimes I know complain about it. I know they're quite capable of taking care of the job. I'm a hands-on person. I want to be there. I want to see it. I want to touch it. I want to know that it's done right. I'm not double checking their work. I'm just making sure it's right. The citizens hired me to be there 24/7. You honestly can't stay up 24 hours a day. My wife gets tired, I'm sure, of hearing the phone ring during the night, but when my people call me, I can't go back to sleep. They say, we've got this going on. I want to know about it. That person, whether I know them or not, lives in Benton County, and I need to be there to see what's going on. It's my job, and I take my job maybe too serious, but I don't, if that's possible, but I'm going to be out there every night. If we got storms coming in, I go home, catch a nap in the afternoon, go back out and jump in the storm during the night. But that's my job. That's what I'm supposed to do, and make sure that my people are where they need to be. My dispatch is very good about keeping me informed. Sheriff, I know you want to know we got a storm, next 30 minutes it's going to hit us. Which end's it coming in, how rough's it going to be, that kind of stuff. Okay, start spreading my people out. This is where we need them. Or we've got a wreck, Sheriff, and we've got everybody tied up on it. Okay, next call up, I'll take it. And I just get up and get ready, lay down on the couch, and if they call and say, okay, now we've got a domestic over here, well, I've been way down, y'all know where Danville's at, and I've been way down in Danville by myself 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. But that's my job. I don't like doing that. It's dangerous. But I'm not doing anything that I don't think a real sheriff would do. He'll get up and do what's required of his county, whether it's in any way he's taking care of the kids or taking care of the elderly or whatever the call might be. And you have to be so versatile to be a sheriff. Every call's different.
Kenny, this right here is a question that I guess some could say that I'm asking you to toot your horn, but I'm not. I got a question here. You've been the sheriff for how long?
12 years now.
What makes you, Kenny Christopher, a good sheriff?
Without sounding conceited, that's a tough question.
Well, I know, but it's a question.
You're the only one here that's going to pat yourself on the back.
Yeah, we're not going to pat you. I'm not going to pat you on the back because you didn't bring me no get out of jail free card. So that's what it takes to get pat on my.
I was raised by 2 of the greatest parents that a man could ask for, and they taught me to be honest, be straightforward, care about people, do what's right, and that's all I know. That's all I know, and I don't mean to get emotional.
Oh, you're fine, brother.
You got to do what's right. You got to take care of people.
Yeah.
You only get one chance to pass through this world, and you got to leave this world better than you came in it. So I give all that praise to my parents. I've been blessed. My mother's 91 years old. She went through colon cancer surgery and still with me. And so I give all them the praise for raising me right. But I'm going to do what's right. And sometimes doing what's right when you're the sheriff makes people mad. But I have to go by what the law says, as you and Hansel know. But I also want to put compassion into it and let them know that not just the sheriff is your friend, and I'm trying to get the problem, whatever it might be, straightened out. I think that's my biggest asset is I honestly care, and I've got the heart for what I do.
I understand. Hansel?
Got one question I think I skipped.
Okay. Just like a lawyer, ain't it?
Oh, yeah. He knows when to skip.
You were talking about the jail budget, and we found out from the Carroll County Sheriffs and their forum for candidate sheriffs, talking to them about state money for keeping felon inmates.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have that, and how much of your budget is taken up by the expenditure is taken up by the inmates, and how much it is income comes in?
Well, I brought in as high as $615,000 in a year. We get $41 a day for each state inmate we hold. Our jail was set up when we went from the old jail to the jail we're in now. We can hold 140 inmates. It's hard to keep staffing, and it's hard to keep problems down, and especially if you have any sickness or anything hit your jail, it spreads. So that's a thing that you got to watch it. It looks good on paper, but if you get too many in there and you're handling them, then you get in there and maybe one medical emergency can wipe out everything you've made all year. So we work good with everything. So I'm holding about 50-50. Our jails usually hold about 25 to 35 local inmates, and we try to keep 20 to 30 state inmates. That brings in enough money that it pays for our patrol cars every year, plus gives money back to the county of what we clear. So it's a good balance right there that we're getting. But yes,
I don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
You're saying it gives money back to the county. So their budget is $2.3 million for the jail. They're already allocating that with county funds.
Yes, sir.
You're pulling back almost 25% reimbursement. Why can't that 25% that's being paid by the state be used to get you some new officers?
I asked that question several times, Hansel. The situation that I have is they told me that if you bring in, and I'm just throwing a figure out there, if you bring in $500,000 this year, $600,000, you give $300,000 to the county, and we'll let you have $300,000 to get cars. If you only get $400,000, you give us back $200,000, and you get $200,000 to buy cars. So we're paying double for our cars, and they're not buying any cars.
You're splitting it.
Yeah, I don't like the situation, but that's what they've done. And so for the last 3 years, we've been buying our own cars plus paying the same amount on a job that, see, people don't understand. The sheriff is not required in any way to hold any state inmate. That's just money that you're taking in. But it's also a huge gamble that people that don't know about it, you're gambling that you're making this much money. But when you make that much money and say you have a man in there maybe has a heart attack and the medical bill catches you and it eats up everything you've made. So it's gambling, and I don't like to gamble with the county money. But so far we've been very fortunate because we've got good judges in our county, and my jail administrator is right on top of things. He just does an excellent job. It's John Pinion, and I'm really proud of the job he does. So we work with our judges, and if, say we have a medical emergency, when we talk to the doctor at the emergency room, and he says, yeah, we're going to fly this man to Nashville. He's got to have this or this. I'll call them and say, can we get a medical release and him report at a certain day? But now, if this is a state inmate that I can't do that with, then we pay a certain amount, and then the state comes in and covers the medical. But on the others, I probably save them that they never even see. I want to say an easy $3 million a year that's just nobody even notices just by working good with the judges.
Yeah, the last thing I want to say is for the mayor candidates coming in here from Benton County next week.
Yes, sir.
Better be able to discuss that jail budget and the money coming in, because I'm going to ask the questions. I don't understand why. I don't understand that.
Well, all these things that money we could be using it for. We could have boats to patrol. We could have extra cars. It would more than pay for our manpower, but they choose to use it for whatever, and we're splitting it with them, and the rest is paying for cars. And so the county hasn't been out anything on cars for the last at least 3 or 4 years. We paid for our own cars, plus gave them the same amount of money to go into their budget. I feel it's very unfair, and there's a lot of things that if they they give it back to the sheriff and say, here's extra money that y'all made that's outside your budget. Take that and buy what you need because you know what you need. And they don't know because none of them that works there except one has ever sat down in a patrol car.
Does the school system do that?
No.
Does the highway department do that?
No, sir. No, sir. I don't understand why it's set up like it is, and I don't like it, and I've voiced my opinion on it. But that's what they've done, and they didn't give me a choice on it. And so in order to keep running, I had to go along with it because I have to have that money for my cars. We're running cars sometimes that are about well over $200,000, and y'all know from how the patrol cars get run, $200,000 on a patrol
it's
car.
It's $500,000 to an average person.
Absolutely.
Wide open.
Only Mike Weatherford can keep a car running at $200,000.
Well,
I've done a few of them.
He's always got a pair of wire pliers or something in his back pocket to keep it going.
I'm going to put you on the spot, Sheriff, before I let you go.
Yes.
Your staff, do you know what all your staff you've got in your sheriff's side of your department?
In the sheriff's side, I've got 2 chief deputies. I've always had 2 chief deputies because I think it's much more efficient. That way, one of the 3 of us is always available. Then I've got a lieutenant. I've got 3 investigators, and I've got 14 deputies, and I have 4 sergeants. And that's my staffing as far as the sheriff's side.
You're exactly right. I've got the numbers right here.
Oh, I know. I live them every day.
Okay, well, I was going to check you on that because, and honestly, Sheriff, I'm not putting you on the spot. That's important to know. If we're going to elect you for sheriff, that you know exactly what's going on in your department. And I think that's great. And it may be a tough question to ask them, but I got the numbers, Sheriff. It's all public record.
Yeah.
And I found out, and you hit every one of them. You knew exactly how many you had. A lot of people doesn't know that, what they got in their department. Jail side, let's see how good you are on that. I got your numbers there, too.
Okay. I got my jail administrator. Then I've got 2 lieutenants, and I've got 4 sergeants. And then I've got my staffing back there, and I think I don't remember right now the exact number on corrections officers. We're supposed to have 6 on the floor at any given time. Mm-hmm. So that's 24/7 that we have to do that. So that's my staffing in the jail. And then I've got a couple of part-time people that work the litter grant program, and I've got one maintenance man back there.
You're pretty close. Your correctional officers are 16.
Okay.
But you was right on your administrator, your lieutenant, your sergeant, and all that. You nailed it. I mean, darn, you know your department. Hansel, I think that Benton County has got I would say a decision to make coming up here in August. And I think we showed them what they've already got. I wish the other one could have been here. We could have showed a contrast, but it didn't work out to work that way. But I think they've got a very important decision to make here pretty quick.
I think you need to state again on air the other person when they're not here. If somebody may have joined us late.
Sure. I reached out to her. I had a conversation with Battery Hagler. Had a text message, had a phone call with her. She just couldn't make the show. She had prior commitments. She could not make it, couldn't get here. I did reach out. We talked twice. We talked as late as I think it was last Friday. We talked. Just couldn't work out. But when you do a talk show like I do, understand. Kenny had committed. He said, "Yeah, I'll be there." He committed back a long time ago. He said, "I'll be there." And when you commit, I can't say, "Kenny, you can't come." I've got to. The show goes on, and that's just how it works. And when you do a talk show, and I told her, I said, maybe down the road, if I have time, but we're booked every week till the election. So that's just, I hate it for everybody involved. I really, really do. But there's nothing I can do. Time moves on. I've got producers, I've got sponsors, I've got commitments. I have to keep head on. Kenny, before I go, I got some hard questions for you, brother.
Yes, sir.
Steak or chicken?
Steak or chicken? Well, I'd always take steak if I can, but it's hard to beat fried chicken.
Sweet or unsweet tea?
Oh, sweet tea, man.
Car, truck, or minivan?
Got to have a pickup truck.
Hunting or fishing?
I'll do a little fishing. I quit hunting years ago, but I was an avid goose hunter.
I had to see where he was at, Ansel. that's a good answer. Hansel, what else? What do you think we ought to do with him? We got him here. We might not ever get him here again. Anything else we want to ring him out about?
I think he's answered every question I had.
And mine too.
Truthfully and straightforward.
He did. It's a pretty important position, Kenny. And I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to let you have a few seconds here, a few minutes, however long you take. Usually we give a 2-minute limit to people to answer a question, but there's nobody here but yourself and I. So, and Hansel. So what I want you to do is find that camera. One of them. There's cameras everywhere. He'll find you one. Look over here. Look up right in front of you. There you go. That run right there. And you tell the people of Benton County why they should vote and keep Kenny Christopher as the sheriff of Benton County. The floor is yours, sir.
All right, sir. I appreciate it. I don't think there's a whole lot that I can tell anybody that I haven't said before, and if they don't know me in 12 years and the other 6 years that I worked here, plus I grew up here, my goal when I got into this was law enforcement. I got into it. I wanted to be the sheriff of Benton County. I had a high admiration for Mr. Charles Greer, who was the sheriff when I was a teenager, and I seen him working, and I said, I want to be able to do what that man does right there. And I got into it, and I've loved every minute of it. I came into my office with integrity, with a good family behind me, and good support. And I will go out with integrity. No amount of money could buy me. No political influence can influence me. There's a big sign across the front of my desk that your politics stops here. And then people ask me about it, and I tell them that's exactly what it means. I don't like the political side of being in elected office, but I'm going to do what's right to the best of my knowledge. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be straightforward. And if you like me, you like me. And if you don't, you don't. And if you don't like what I've done over the last 12 years and you think you can do better and you want to change, then that's what you need to do. It's for the people. The people decide what they want. I have done the one promise that I made when I come in. I will do the very best that I can with what I am given to work with. And sometimes it's pretty slim, but we've pulled through. I built my department up to have really good men, good women that work there. I trust them with things when they bring them to me. I try to also have them as family. I want the people in the community. I've always advertised this. My door is open. All you got to do is call and speak with my assistant, set up a time to come talk to me, because there's 16,000, 17,000 people in the county, and you can't just walk in and me just happen to, unless I just happen to be in there, because I'm on the road as much as I'm in the office, out meeting people, talking to them, finding out what their concerns are, checking on their families after they've been in a wreck or somebody's sick and I know they've come home, maybe taking cancer treatments, and I know that they're way out in the country and they don't have enough family or something to take care of them. So I'm out there checking on them to see what their needs are and reaching out to different resources that can help them. I would like to do another term as sheriff, and I would like to continue to prove myself. I want the people in the county to trust me and want me to be their sheriff. If not, vote me out. But I know that I have done the very best I can with what I have. I have good working relationships with all the other agencies around. I work well with TBI. I work well with FBI, with Drug Task Force. I work with all the other agencies. I don't think you will find anybody that said anything that I never would cooperate or work with them. I'm in good standing with the Sheriff's Association, which means a lot to me because it's a wonderful organization. All 95 sheriffs are in it. All the surrounding counties and the sheriffs, we work well, we communicate. I just feel like that I'm the right candidate of the two of us. Everybody has their reasons for running. Mine's because I care. Mine's because I want our county to do better, and I will continue to do that if I'm left in there.
There you go. We got your Facebook page up. Re-elect Kenny Christopher for sheriff. You can find him on Facebook. There he is over there looking like Sonny Bono right there at the left of that circle. Look at him right there.
Well, I feel like it sometimes too, buddy.
There you go. I can imagine. I'm going to leave that alone. But Kenny, when people come on my show, you do know that you're in the Burr Street Mafia Studios, right?
I felt it when I come in.
I know
Mike.
there's a lot you got to come through here. We make you check your gun at the door and all of that. But Hansel and I, we kind of look at these people because they all want to be a part of the Burr Street Mafia.
Sure.
That's a big deal.
It is a big deal.
It is, and so me and Hansel kind of got cold. You still good with me, right? What I'm going to do?
still good with you.
All right. So what we're going to do tonight? We're going to make you, Sheriff Kenny Christopher, an official member of the Burr Street Mafia. That tells you on the back that you're an official member, and I'm going to tell you how valuable that is, sir. Sheriff, if you'll take that and put 5 pennies with it, it's worth a nickel.
Wow. That's touching my heart right there, Mike, that you would go to that much trouble and to have Hansel here to witness this is worth a lot.
It is.
I promise you this, though, as silly as we're acting right now, this will mean something. It's something I'll keep. It's something I'll pass on.
It is.
I value our friendship.
Yes, sir.
And I value Hansel's friendship. What did you say, 77?
77, when I was in high school. Went down to Big Sandy shooting skeet or trout.
Did you get arrested? You got arrested?
I was 16, 17 years old shooting a double barrel shotgun.
Did you go to the jail?
Nope.
Oh.
City Park of Big Sandy.
Oh,
Back
wow.
before they had everything they've got now. I really think
that's good. Hansel.
And he's a pretty good shot.
He is.
Yeah.
I couldn't pick a better guy, to help me. He's been my friend for years. Hansel has. He's a great guy. And when I do stuff like this, I said, Hansel, he said, sure, I'll be there. And he does great because he brings a side of this that I don't have. He brings experience. He brings the education and the knowledge that an old street guy like me doesn't own, So I think it's better to have someone like him. And I appreciate you, brother, for coming in here.
Thank you.
It's fun but it's something that the public needs. So I think you have to agree. We're doing a service to the communities.
And I hope we're doing it well. I feel good. I think the questions we ask of the two groups of candidates we've had addresses the issues that the voters want to hear.
Yeah.
And I think that's important.
It's an important issue. The public has got to make a decision come August. And I'll tell you this, folks. Go vote. It's your God-given right. Now, I'm going to tell you how John Weatherford, y'all that still remember my father, you're being old people, he was called Big John. And he looked at me and he said, son, if you don't vote, don't bitch. So I'm going to tell you, go vote and or you can't bitch. Because I know all y'all like to get on Facebook and do all that writing and bitching. But if you ain't voting, if you ain't on the record, it don't matter. It don't count for nothing. So go vote, people. And Kenny, I want to wish you best of luck, my friend.
Thank you.
I hope it all works out well for you.
Thank you.
I think you've been a good sheriff in the past, and I don't see no reason why you wouldn't continue being a great sheriff.
Well, I'm going to do the very best I can, and I want to tell you your show is very informative.
Well, I appreciate it.
I watch it a lot, and y'all bring out the points that the people ask for. They want to know.
Yeah, we do.
And I think y'all do a very good job. It is a service to the community.
I really appreciate Hansel and I. We talk about it. We take it serious. You have to. And I'm going to brag on Hansel. He wouldn't be a part of it if he wasn't serious and we didn't do it right. And I appreciate that about him. He said, I don't want to get on there and do it bad. And he takes it serious. And even though we both know you can't live in the communities that we live in without knowing people. We've been fair.
Yeah.
We've been very fair.
Well, Hansel's been very professional ever since he's been the DA and stuff, and I've known him. I have the highest respect for both of you guys, and y'all are straightforward. You asked me some tough questions tonight, and I enjoyed you challenge me to answer these questions because if you don't know, then you don't need to be the sheriff.
It's an important election that the people's got to make, and it's up to you, the voter. And I try to bring you the contrast between the candidates so you can make an educated decision August the 6th. So go vote. Hey, tune in next week. I've got the Benton County Mayor. Hansel done got him a question too, figured out tonight. He's been writing, and that's how them lawyers do it. They write down as they go. So Scott Pfeiffer, Shasta Arnold, Mark Ward, and Norman Frazier, they're on deck. They'll be here next week right here live, and we're going to be talking with them, asking them questions about the mayor of Benton County. That's going to be a great show. Don't forget, tomorrow night we got Dr. Ken Barry's going to be sitting in my seat. He's going to be the host. He's got Jay Reedy and Tandy Darby coming in. We're going to continue Meet Your Candidate with the state representatives live right here on the Mike Weatherford Show. And the founders left a plan on Tennessee Informer, Reclaiming the Republic. Special guest is J.R. Mobley. He'll be on Monday, June the 22nd, 7 p.m. on the Tennessee Informer. Hey, check him out and see what's going on. And don't forget, Sportscast Live with Jeremy Buckaloo. Fall ball is coming. Baseball to flag football. The new season is just ahead. Hey, Christopher Kirby will be here talking with Jeremy and his daughter. I was trying to remember his daughter's name, but she's really standing out. Kenna, that's right. I had a brain problem there. You know, when you get old, you forget stuff. But anyway, she's going great on this. That's what I keep Hansel around for. You know, I spend so much of my time being a trophy boyfriend that it takes a lot of time, and I think the sheriff can understand. Hey, Kenny Ray, Legacy Freedom Fest is coming up 4th of July down here in Puryear. There is a flyer on it. You need to show up down there. Oh, Kenny, everybody knows Kenny Ray. He's a great guy. He is the mayor, I believe, Kenny Ray Gallimore. He's the mayor of Puryear, I do believe. In honor of him, you know, he's got some medical issues going on. So, hey, get down there. The July the 4th. Puryear, Tennessee, car show, bike show, trade day, live music. There's a lot going on. That thing is packed with information. So, hey, do your part, show up and show out. Mark your calendar, Thursday, July the 16th, 6 p.m., multi-county Republican rally, free food, drinks included, meet Republican governor candidates, Republican congressional candidates, and special guests. More information in upcoming weeks. Hey, going on to Paris Convention Center, multiple county. Show up, show out. TEC, don't forget. They got 1,200 residential customers right here in Paris, and we're one of them. They built over 300 miles of fiber optic. Hey, do like I did here at the Mike Weatherford Show. Call TEC, the BPU, and go get you some. Hey, take it from me. I wouldn't be pushing it if it wasn't great stuff. Don't forget, call Ricky Price for more details on a Boston butt sale going on Saturday, June the 20th. Turn in right now your order and get you one of them great Boston butts that Ricky Price is down there going to be cooking and turning and flipping and flopping and telling stories. Hey, don't forget, that's coming up. The Peddler Advantage, run your 20-week classified to run for 4 weeks for only $10. And every issue, you can find out what's going on in the Mike Weatherford Show, Tennessee Informer, and Sportscast Live with Jeremy Buckaloo. All right, folks, Hansel, appreciate you, brother. Appreciate all you did, man.
All right.
Kenny, like I said, good luck, my friend.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And may Godspeed be with you. All right, folks.
Thank you, guys.
We're going to be tuning out here next week. We're going to have the mayors coming in from Benton County. Then the week after, we got the Henry County mayor. That's a big race going on here in Henry County, folks. It's a very important one. So if you're Henry County watching me tonight, we got you. We got you covered. That's coming up the last Tuesday in June. Hey, tune in, and I want to thank my guys in the back. I think I forgot it last week. There's so much going on. I want to thank my producer, Kevin Keel, associate producer, Ken Atkinson, Scott Norwood, and Dana Allen. Without them in the back, I couldn't do what I do, which is sit here and look pretty. They're all laughing. They're all laughing, but that's what I
mastered, buddy.
I think I got it mastered. There you go, folks. They're still working on that part. All right, guys. It's tough being I'm telling you, I say this all the time, but you really don't know until you're like me, a trophy boyfriend. It's a hard job. I feel like a show pony. Hey, I'm just joking. Hey, tune in next week. Same time, same place. Help me out, Hansel. And like I always say, don't be late.
The Mike Weatherford Show is recorded live at the Brewer Street Mafia Studios in downtown Paris. A Kill Media, Brewer Street Mafia Productions.